All right. Good day, folks. What a pleasure and a warm way to welcome you to Spokes Inside here on Foci Online TV, broadcasting from our main studios in Topo Village along the Japanese Freeway. This program is a sports magazine program that brings you detailed and in-depth analysis about development from the world of sports. And this program comes your way Saturday of every week from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And so on today's edition of our program, like we said, is going to be the panel discussions. We will be having three persons here in our studio representing Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. We're going to be talking a wide range of issues. As you may be aware, we have less than a week to the official start of the Premier League, the English Premier League, new season 2023-2024. So our three panel discussions going to be here, going to be learning their thoughts on issues ranging from a brief retrospect or a brief analysis about the Jets and the late season. We're going to be talking about the club's involvement in the current transfer window. We're also going to be talking about the preparations of these clubs ahead of new league season. And each one of our discussions is going to give an accurate or precise prediction which four teams they believe going to finish at the top four at the end of the season 2023-2024. Like we said, today's edition promises to be a fascinating, insightful, and interactive one. We encourage public participation for some of you who want to participate on the show. We'll have our normal display on the screen. You can call and you can learn in your thoughts. So we want to say thanks to our online viewers. We want to say thanks for watching if you are joining us. We want to say you can share our videos. You can encourage others to join and follow this show. For all you need to know about sports, you can follow our program every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll lay a little premise and we'll usher our guests in as we kickstart the discussion for today. All right, thanks for rejoining us. And we just like to acknowledge Thomas JJ Sayon. He's following our broadcast live from Broadway. Want to say thanks for being our first follower on to this edition of our program. Please share our live video, invite others to follow our video. So today we'll be having, like we said, three discussants here representing Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool. We expected four persons, but unfortunately, our guest who should have represented Chelsea, he had to decline from the process. Chelsea guest declined from the process. So we'll be having three persons here. The chairman John Wynn is following. We want to acknowledge you. We want to say thanks for following. So the three discussions, like we said, we'll be doing a critical, a brief review of the just ended Premier League season. The just ended Barclays Premier League season. I mean, the English Premier League season just ended. Manchester United emerged as champions. There were other teams that were relegated. Some of them qualified for Europa Champions League. Some of them qualified for Europa League, and some of them qualified for the Europa Conference League. We're also going to be looking. We're going to be looking at the season, doing a critical or brief review of the just ended season. And as we dive into the conversation, we want to look at the involvement of these clubs in the transfer market, like the transfer of players from one club to another. How well are the clubs, trying to secure the signatures of players that they believe can beef up the squad. Going forward, we're going to look at the preparation of each one of these clubs, how well they are prepared. The league going to get started within less than a week. How well are they prepared to kickstart the process? And lastly, before we walk out of these studios, each of our discussion going to predict the top four teams that are going to finish the four teams that are going to finish at the top of the Premier League table at the end of the 2023-2024 league season. We have Brother Bill DZC is following our broadcast. We want to say thanks for following. So all of you that are following us, we want to say keep following. Please share our videos and you can invite others to follow our live videos. So today's discussion is going to be fascinating, insightful, and very promising. We have bright young men that are here. We trust them. They're going to speak from an informed and accurate analysis about background. They are well informed. They are up to date with regards to the activities of these clubs. And the conversation is going to be highly educative. Keep following. We'll take a break as we usher in our guests and get started with the conversation. Good day, folks. What a pleasant and warm way to welcome you to Sports Insight, your biggest sport magazine program here on Focal Online TV. I'm your host, Eric Palup Collins. On this program, we bring you in-depth and accurate analysis of a sporting event from the world of sports. This program comes your way Saturday every week from 2 to 4 p.m. here on Focal Online TV. We encourage you to keep watching. Again, I'm your host, Eric Palup Collins. Thanks for following. Live on Focal Online TV, broadcasting from our main studios here in Topo Village along the Japanese Freeway. So, like we said, today is going to be a panel discussion. We're going to have three discussants here representing Arsenal, Liverpool, and of course Manchester United. We're going to be talking about the Premier League that is about to start in less than a week, the new Premier League season. We're going to be talking a couple of issues that borders around the English Premier League. So, our discussants will be here. We'll be having three distinct personalities who are up to date with activities of these clubs. They're going to bring you brilliant analysis of the club, and the conversation is actually going to be interactive. And for those of you that are following, we'll afford you the opportunity if you want to participate. We'll have the numbers. The number is being displayed on the screen. You can call that number, and we'll afford you the opportunity to participate on this show here today. So, again, our guests will be ushered in shortly. They just ended Premier League season. Manchester City won the English Premier League. They emerged as champions, followed by Arsenal, who finished second place. We had Manchester United finishing third place, and of course, we had Newcastle United, they finished fourth place. Liverpool fifth place. We have, which is the Europa League qualification spot. We have Brighton in the Europa League qualification spot, and we also have Aston Villa qualifying for the Europa Conference League. And of course, we have a couple of number of teams that were relegated. Leicester City were relegated to the Championship. We had Leeds United, they were relegated to the Championship, and also Southampton, they were also relegated to the Championship. So we're going to take a brief review of the just ended league season, like we told you earlier. We're going to talk about the clubs. We're talking about transfer of players from one club to another. How many players have left from one team to another? How many signatures have these clubs acquired? And how are these players that they are transferred going to be an impact to their team? How prepared are they in the league going to get started within less than a week? And we're also going to be hearing from them their prediction with regards to the teams that are going to finish in the top four spot at the end of the 2023-2024 Premier League season. So, again, yes, like we said, we are trying to usher in our guests. They are here already, seated in the conference room of our main studios, and we are trying to usher them in so that we can ensure that this conversation gets started. Three better young men. I can see the brother is beautifully dressed in a Manchester United outfit. So, I think back up. So we can see the other brother here representing Arsenal. Of course, the runner of the Jets in the English Premier League, and the guy representing Liverpool is not attired. I don't know why. They say a sound of fear, but actually we can preempt. As we go into the conversation, we have two persons here beautifully dressed in the club attire, well represented, Jara Langley and Michael Cummins. And as a judge, he's not wearing a Liverpool jersey. We don't know the reason, but as we get started the conversation, he's going to fill us in. So quickly, we're going to bring them on the screen. We'll introduce our guests to you, and we can ensure that the conversation gets started. So again, we want to say thanks for following. We have Andy Bubla Jala. So we are watching from the city where Chelsea defeated Brighton recently. Wow. At the United States of America, I can recall Chelsea played a friendly match. Andy Bubla Jala. No, we have Ambassador Bill Frank Bond. He's following. And he said, I'm watching from 34th Street in Miami. So we want to say thanks for following. Like we said, today's conversation is going to be very insightful. It's going to be fascinating. It's going to be educative. And going to be interactive. So we have three brilliant young men here who are well up to date in regards to happenings of their respective clubs. And they're going to be speaking from an informed and accurate background. Nobody's going to be guessing here. We trust them. We know them. We have followed them over the years. We know how well they are schooled or knowledgeable of these clubs. So we have on our camera, you can see Marco Cummins. And we will just start the introduction. Good day, folks. What a pleasant and warm way to welcome you to Spokes Insight, your biggest sport magazine. Good day, folks. What a pleasant and warm way to welcome you to Spokes Insight, your biggest sport magazine.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV. Bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal. Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV. With check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV. Bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV. The best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Platform, the platform is here. Rensis Basuka Fidel Moba. Cool, yes, he's a brother, he's a friend, and Rensis Bala, I want to say thanks for following our platform. The platform is available to everyone. This is about sports. How well we can promote sports. Sports nowadays are a unifying factor all across the globe. Yeah, bring people together under one umbrella. So we will see how best we're trying to get our guests on the screen. So we'll bring in Brother Michael Cummins. Like we said, we'll be going alphabetically. He's here representing Axino. So Brother Michael Cummins, you know, just a meaning. Not just, it won't take a meaning, but we'll just try to spark the conversation before we can dive into the main discussion. How is life outside of the sports? What we here to talk about? How is things? We just get to talk about that. How is everything going with you?
Thank you. Uh, Again, I'm not a stranger here, and my first time in the studio, I said life was okay in terms of the going and all that ups and downs. We cannot complain because no one's never hear your back. All you can keep doing is to keep pushing and pushing to the best so that you can get the positive out of it. So life is good.
So we're grateful for that. So going forward to Brother Ashley Josh here representing Liverpool. So Brother, how is life? Also our sports. We have to talk about today. How's things going?
Yeah, I think basically we have the responsibility, you know, to improve ourselves. Like he said rightly, no one is going to, take you out of your dungeon. You have the responsibility. It is obligated upon you to bring yourself out of your slumber. So, in as much as irrespective of life adversities, you must have got to stand up tall to all of the temptations, the hard times. So basically, I think life is okay, and we will embrace whatever storm that comes with us.
That is good to hear of you. Sure. One there is life, there
There
is
is
hope.
hope.
So Brother Jared Langley, again, it's up to you. The same question. How is life? How's everything going?
Yeah, life is good. Life has been good, and I thank God that actually He hit me in the right direction.
Wow.
Like your brother, you already know. In years,
Yes. Just
ups and
celebrated
downs,
a new
like
age
new
days
age,
ago. So
coming from a fresh birthday,
wow.
it's all good. And then I love the innovation also. You are indeed a motivation, a young man. Always see you come hard. You all want to fight to see yourself at a particular point. Like so many of them, like in a cycle. And then I was like, one time when I put on my phone, I was like, wow, see you on the platform. I said, wow, that's my man. And actually, to be frank from my heart, I love it. What you have actually ventured into is a good thing. Go wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is part of life.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, we say all of these things are just geared towards making our country better. It's about country, it's not about us. So we appreciate all of you for being here. So quickly we'll get into the discussion. Arsenal alphabetical order. Michael Kumis here representing Arsenal. The just ended Premier League season. Manchester United emerged as champions. All of us are aware for months, many months, Arsenal led the Premier League table, but at the dire minute, we don't know what happened in between, and they had to give up the championship to Manchester United, finished second. Although Arsenal also feared that they had achieved many years they have missed out from the Champions League, qualifying from the Champions League. But we just want you to give an overview of the just in the Premier League season in regards to your team performing. How do you see your team in terms of performing in the just Premier League season? Was it satisfactory? Were there mistakes? What you think need to be done? We'll give you 3 minutes for that.
Okay. All right. With regards to the previous season, all right. The first thing, every football thing before you go to a tournament or maybe probably a league, you have a focus. When I say you have a focus, you have a goal. And Arsenal as a club had a goal of qualifying to the Champions League, which of course was our primary focus. And then as God will have it,
So that was more important than missing on the
that
championship.
was the goal. It was not that it was more important, but that was the goal. The goal was to qualify for the Champions League. Imagine your team not going to the Champions League for close to 4 or 5 seasons. You know what I mean? So it was not something easy. After a series of coaches coming in, we brought in Ateta, and it was spelled out that I'm going to qualify this team for the Champions League, and then we can prepare for the next season for the Premier League. But as God will have it, sometimes when you put the rightful people into the rightful place, you will see things going. So we found out that this is not just about the Champions League. This is about going beyond the Champions League in terms of the club performance. All right. So at a certain point in time, you saw the club moving to a direction where people started getting afraid in the Premier League. Arsenal is ready. Arsenal is ready. Arsenal is ready. That was because of the consistent performances of the team, positively. So they were kind of doing extremely well. It broadened their mind. It broadened their expectation that we can go beyond the Champions League. So you found it to be a situation where they kept on going. They kept on going. They kept on winning. It was only in the dying minute that somehow along the line they lost focus. To be honest with you, I was kind of disappointed from such a season tapping the Premier League from day one all the way to somehow maybe like
The climaxing
7
stage.
games
Yes.
in the league and then lost in the league. It was a huge disappointment to admit. But I still believe in that team, and I still believe that team can do better.
So you believe that you had an excellent performance
Yes.
for the Jets in the
A
league season,
complete excellent performance. A complete
despite
excellent.
missing on the
Because the thing
championship.
about it is that you had a goal, you scored since your goal, you went to a level where you even went beyond your goal. So you see, a complete excellent performance. Where we missed out is not bringing the Premier League home.
Okay, so we want to say thanks. So, actually, you are an ardent supporter of Liverpool, a diehard supporter. For Liverpool fans, for me, I cannot question their loyalty. Their loyalty is unquestionable. We know them. Champions League. I can recall in 2005 when Liverpool were down 3-0 to AC Milan. I was watching that game. The fans of Liverpool for Arsenal, the guys, they were courageous. They were so, yes, so confident. So all of the Liverpool fans, that same spirit. Just in the Premier League season, your team finished fifth place, failing out to qualify for the Champions League, missing out in the championship. You will be representing England in the Europa League. Now, Liverpool, when it comes to Champions League in England, when we talk about Champions League in England, the first team you ever mention is Liverpool. So if we're talking about a review about the Jets in the Premier League season, how do you rate your team performance? A team that you have known for years to be a Champions League team consistently, qualifying for the UEFA Champions League this time around, finishing fifth place, going to another screens league called UEFA, where you're going to miss on screens team, somebody picking it up. Not even respect your team. You say they play Ikai, all equal, like your Champions League one. Yeah, we're not here for that. So, what's the overall rating of your team performance from last season? Finishing fifth place, going to Europa, and not qualifying for the Champions League this time around.
Thank you so very much, Derek. I must admit, I think the discussion is welcoming and is also, good that we be able to share our perspective as we relate to our respective teams. So, in respect to Liverpool's performance last season, I think Liverpool performed dismally, in my view, because from the onset of the 2023 season, we were the ones that played Man City in the Community Shield. And that particular game, we won Manchester City in the Community Shield. And we were able to gain the admiration and that of the praises of even our, opposite team supporters. And they were like, okay, Liverpool is actually ready for this particular season. But forging ahead within the season, we performed dismally our first 5 games. Liverpool underperformed. And going in the middle of the season, we then again gained some level of momentum. And at the end of the day, we went below the ebb. And at the commencing stage of the 2022-2023 season, we were able to regain that fortitude, to forge ahead. Mind you, we were way down at 11th place during the middle part of the season. And we had to motivate ourselves. The coach in Jurgen Klopp had to do a signing wherein he bought Cody Gakpo from that of Ajax to come and join so that Liverpool can be improved in terms of its striking ability to push go forward because Darwin Nunes at the time was suffering from injury. So basically, I think Liverpool performed dismally, and in going to the Europa, I think Liverpool is going to be a formidable force in the Europa League.
So you talk about dismal performance, and a lot of people have blamed a lot of supporters of Liverpool, other sport pundits, they have blamed the departure of Sadio Mane from the club as a reason for which the team performed poorly.
So
You,
I just
what's your
think
take about those perceptions or views about some
so.
of the people?
So I believe that everyone is entitled to his or her view in respect to a player's departure or bringing on board new players. But what I think is that Sadio Mane was to leave Liverpool, and that was the right time for him to leave Liverpool. We had Luis Diaz, who was performing in respect to Sadio Mane's performance as well. So Luis Diaz was being signed while Sadio Mane was still playing for Liverpool. And were you to witness or watch Liverpool games, whenever Sadio Mane plays and then he's being substituted, Luis Diaz go right there and deputize in his absence. And whenever Luis Diaz deputizes in his absence, Luis Diaz bring forth good results. So the only problem we had at the time was injury crisis. During the Arsenal game where we were being defeated 3-2, Luis Diaz gained or sustained injury at the time. So you will understand that Luis Diaz, who Liverpool thought he would have filled in that gap, gained or sustained injury at the time. Therefore, the team basically, suffered some level of setbacks in counter
Okay,
attack or
so
on
in
attack.
your concluding minutes, you talk about dismal performance, and your team, despite failing to qualify for the Champions League or winning the Premier League title, they managed to secure a spot in the Europa or league, which is another prestigious tournament in Europe. Aren't you happy about that? And you talking about this more, but you are not even mentioning that.
So I'm not basically happy with Liverpool's performance last season. And why I said Liverpool performed dismally is because one, if you look at international statistics from around the globe and as well as in England, Manchester City and Liverpool were the two teams that were being projected as contenders and competitors for the just ended 2022-2023 Premier League title. Like he rightly stated, Arsenal was only anticipating, a fourth place or a third place finish to qualify them
No, I did
for.
not say so. Yeah, it was
He said
yes, yes,
the
sure,
Arsenal supporter.
sure.
So Arsenal was not anticipating, competing for the Premier League title. What they thought about was to participate in Champions League the impending season. So Liverpool, who has been projected as one of the fastest contenders of the 2022-2023 Premier League title, performed dismally with all of the quality players they had. And at the time, the coach, he himself, had some misjudgments in, putting players in their positions that they should be. So basically, I mean, these are some of the reasons we said that Liverpool performed dismally. And I think this coming season will be better.
Okay, so that is from Axel Georgia representing Liverpool. His team performance season because his expectation Arsenal going to the tournament with the mindset of just finding a spot in the Champions League. So Liverpool, who have been a favorite representing England at different fronts, winning many Champions League and failing to finish among the top four. I think that was a dismal performance. So we'll move over to our brother Jared Langley here representing Manchester United. So, brother Langley, now you are here representing United. You just in the late season, your team finished third place in a comfortable and authoritative position for the UEFA Champions League. Yes, forcing all the leg of Chelsea, Tottenham, and other guys who are very embarrassing you. But on the overall, you did not win the Premier League, but you qualified for Champions League. There were a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things happening in the way. on the overall performance of your team, what's your overall view about your team perform last season in the Premier League, Manchester United?
Yeah, when it comes to my own analysis as the Manchester United performances when it comes to last season, I think Manchester United did extremely well, but we had some lapses along the way. When it comes to like Eric Ten, our new manager, first season, going the likes of Martinez, uh, Malaysia, I called Martinez, Malaysia, and Anthony Santos, Casemiro. Those players gave the team a bit balance because Tottenham concentration for Manchester United was actually finding that balance in the team. And Manu will score goals and then concede more goals. Manu will be 40 in terms of midfield. Manu, the intensity, they couldn't withstand the intensity of the Premier League. Despite they are a true originator of the Premier League. So that where the frustration was. So when he came, those are some of the contributions he brought to the team to create that balance. And then the unity was a bit there. But then we had a series of opportunities, but we did not do much more last season. I like many times when I sit with my colleagues, I'll be like, we should have won at least 2 trophies last season. At least 2 trophies last season. Like, no disrespect to any club in England, but Manchester City, they have the greatest and the biggest chemistry in football in England. Manchester City.
You must be a realist to admit to the fact that your rival.
Yeah, that don't make me a free thinker. You just can't win Manchester City in terms of the team chemistry. They have it. Man City can get you anytime at the break.
So you think your team is lacking that chemistry?
Oh yeah, that's why we won. That's why we won. That's why Eric Ten had to make some hard decisions to let certain player go. Because looking at the exit of Cristiano Ronaldo, you don't have to hold. I don't have to hold back my words on this. Like Cristiano Ronaldo was ill-treated. He was marginalized and Manchester United when he was there. But
I think that is part of the reasons for which you had the kind of performance that you had last season.
No, not
Ronaldo. Was it a part of the facts? Those factors
in terms of my
performance?
No, it could be maybe I can give some like 10%. Yeah, 10%. Because Ronaldo had a low contribution 2 seasons ago. He was at Manchester United, but when it comes to the team last season, Tottenham feels that Ronaldo, in terms of the squad, Ronaldo was big, like he was the biggest on the squad. And then people, the assistance in the team was people had certain players had to go their way, other players had to go their way. They were rivalry with Cristiano Ronaldo and Harry Maguire when it comes to leadership. He had his side, other people, Maguire had his side, and then he had his side. At one point in time, Ronaldo had to tell Maguire you had to relinquish the captaincy to concentrate. And Maguire felt offended on it, like I can't do it. But at the end of the day, this is what prevailed. Like Maguire just had to let go of the captaincy. So there was some, but it was not more deep in it. So Ten had to let Ronaldo go when it comes to the mind gaming. Ronaldo had to leave Manchester United.
So then I think what I'm trying to deduce from your statement is like your team have more like of in-house problem, and as compared to that of a problem on the pitch, because you talk about some of these issues, the issue with Rodano, the issue about the captain bank, because these are issues that are not directly applicable on the pitch. These are things that could be resolved behind the stage in terms of leadership. So
the team wasn't stable in the dressing room. We had zero crisis in the dressing room. The team wasn't stable in the dressing room. From the like it was half season before Organo Social could leave the team. Manchester United has zero rivalry in the dressing room. The captaincy being given to Harry Maguire at the time was the feeder, was the soul.
So bringing in Ter Hagen,
yeah,
especially with the kind of existing crisis at the time,
yeah,
going for another coach or a new coach, you are taking into consideration bringing somebody who have that leadership personality, the administrative zeal to ensure that some of these things could be addressed or resolved adequately. and you brought in somebody who could not help to resolve the crisis. Do you think that was a poor decision on the part of the team?
To bring in Eric Ten.
Yeah, who could not also resolve the already existing crisis?
To bring in Eric Ten.
Yes.
Eric Ten solved this problem. Let me tell you one.
But he and Ronaldo, they were local here. You just mentioned the issue about Ronaldo.
Yeah.
How did he solve it when he couldn't get along?
Right. Let's just say, before every time we come to Manchester United, he watched Manchester United problem from the start. Every game they played, he knew that the team psychologically, Manchester United wasn't stable. Manchester United wasn't stable psychologically. So he was
So you have a meaning, yes.
Yeah. The team wasn't stable. So he told the hierarchy at the club that I want control on transfer, I want control on the dressing room, transfer targets. Like, I can tell you who to bring and who not to bring. I can tell you should give me all what I want. Those were his wishes. And when he came to Manchester United, he's actually delivering in his wishes. You see it. Ronaldo has gone. Harry Maguire has been released. He has delivered the captaincy. We have Bruno Fernandes, one of the most prolific players at the club. Right now, it's our newest captain. So I think when it comes to balancing, in terms of solving problems, I think Ten is extremely well.
So on the overall, last season performance was this month.
Yeah.
It was not up to the expectation.
No, not at all.
All right. So that's the boss of Jarrod Langley, and I think he fell in line with Ashley Josh. They both alluded to the fact that their team did not perform up to expectation, because when you talk about football in England, unarguably, despite what we said, we know that Manchester United, Liverpool, our prestigious clubs for England when it comes to trophy, we respect them a whole lot. So alluding to those facts, we believe that they have come to this conversation in terms of being real and their loyalty or their commitment to their respective club. But Michael Cummings, he stated that Arsenal, on the overall, they regret missing out on the championship after tapping for months, but again, they failed achieve by qualifying for the Champions League, for which they have missed on for many years. So the conversation is ongoing. This is Focal Online TV. The program you are watching is Sports Inside. This program comes your way Saturday of every week from 2 to 4 p.m. live on our main studios here in Tobo Village along the Japanese Freeway. Today we are having a panel discussion. We have three that discussing here in our studios. They are here representing Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. We are talking about the Premier League that is about to get started in less than a week. So we are talking wide range of issues regarding those clubs in terms of preparation for the new league season. Now we move over to our next issues on the table there that we have to talk about today. Beginning with Arsenal, Marcus Cummings. Currently there's an ongoing transfer of players, the transfer window, according to the sporting body. The got time stipulated that players can secure the signature. Clubs can secure the signature of players from one club to another. That we call transfer market or transfer window. We've been following of recent. We saw Arsenal. This is just a gist. Securing the signature of the leg of Kai Havertz from Chelsea, Declan, where the overrated rest from West Ham, and what have you. We cannot dive into that in depth. So, as a staunch supporter of Arsenal, who have followed the club activities, you care to bring up to date with regards to the club's involvement in the transfer market currently, some of those signings that you have, some of those new faces that you have brought on board to your club. How is it going? Probably there are some deals that are ongoing, they are pending, and how soon you think you're going to ensure that those agreements are going to be reached before the league can get started?
Yeah, thank you. With regards to the issue of the transfer market, all right, I think Arsenal is doing extremely well in the transfer market. This is not the Arsenal that we know when it comes to the transfer market. Arsenal is normally a club that can sometimes sit maybe in the dying minute. You see the team is kind of running behind getting players. And sometimes you will openly go for a player, but then you see other clubs coming to hijack the transfer. But if you sit and watch in the previous times, you see that Arsenal is a team really into the transfer market. She brought in Kai Havertz, and she also brought in Joey Timber and that of what's his name, Declan Rice, who is currently the higher transfer English midfielder. All right, it is good to have one of those players come in, and she's also in the market for the goalkeeper from Brentford, and Brian. All right, but Chelsea is kind of jumping into the D on that. Yeah. But the thing is, when you go to the market, all right, to buy players, you don't just buy whoever you want to buy. I'm not impressed with the issue of Kai Havertz transfer. On a serious note, you you have surplus to requirement. I consider him to be surplus to requirement. All right. You have the leg of Declan Rice. You have Thomas Partey. You have a whole lot of players. You have Granit Xhaka.
Okay, so this issue with Kai Havertz from Chelsea played the Champions League for Chelsea, won the Champions League with Chelsea. In fact, in the finals of the Champions League, he was the one who scored the winning goal for Chelsea. Now, Arsenal have qualified for the Champions League, returning to the Champions League. You don't think because in terms of experience, you need players who have had the experience, like you had Jorginho already for Chelsea, coming getting a level. You don't think it's a boost for your team?
So
especially?
why I didn't mention Jorginho?
I'm just
I
talking
didn't
about
mention Jorginho because I feel that he's the kind of player Arsenal need. All right. Kai Havertz, trust me, at some point in time we had a player like Ozzy. All right. The Kolisek Bemi Witness, and he did immensely well. And you bring in a Ozzy tag again. You said that Ozzy was not okay for the club. The same very Arteta saw Ozzy outside of Arsenal. All right. Now you brought in Kai Havertz, the same very kind of player, the same style of playing. You brought in. We got too many. We got too many players in that particular position. You brought in Trossard uh, from Brighton. You brought in Trossard. Trossard is also playing in a similar position that Kai Havertz can play in. So the thing is, it's not just about bringing players to the club. It's about bringing people that can make impact. Whereas the show, we agree Kai Havertz played Champions League and he went to the Champions League. He scored a goal from Champions League. But does it really matter? No. What matters is contributing immensely. That's my point. Uh, I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to be a person in terms of criticizing football players. No, but I am saying when you go to the market, you buy players that will fit into the system, and not just fit into the system, but players that will give you the necessary results you want. That's it. So, Declan Rice, Jordan Timber that you brought to Arsenal.
so are you trying to preempt that Kai Havertz will not give you the necessary result,
I don't
judging from the
see it.
performance
I
of
don't see
Ozzy?
it. I don't see it forthcoming. I don't see. I'm an Arsenal fan, blood by blood.
I know
I'm an
that.
Arsenal fan. So I'm telling you, I don't see it forthcoming with Kai Havertz. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a good player, but based on the style of play, trust me, Arsenal the play we are now, we need people with more efforts. To be honest with you, we need people with more efforts. So you cannot have a Granit Xhaka who is a leader, who is a fighter, who knows what it is for Arsenal when Arsenal go to a particular game and you sell Granit Xhaka for a Kai Havertz. How do you think that?
A Champions League winner for a non-Champions League winner, and
It's-
you still
Are
trying
you
to
saying
honor
Granit
that?
Xhaka didn't play in the Champions League? No. Granit Xhaka played in the Champions League even before coming to Arsenal.
But
And he came to Arsenal, he played in the Champions League. Despite the fact that Arsenal was unable to go to the Champions League, he played with Arsenal before in the Champions League.
all right, so
Let me just bring this to your knowledge. There are players who even started on the bench and won Champions League, right? So it's not about you go to the field to win the Champions League. It's about contributing to the team immensely.
it's still engaging with the transfer.
Yeah, they are on course. The thing is, we sit in Liberia and we don't have the ability to tell people, oh, you can buy this person, you can buy this person, you can buy this person. But there are a lot of players that Arsenal can go for to have made. I don't want to name them now, but there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them that the team can go for, and Ateta needs to be fights out there. What is true is a coach. But the thing about it also is that the coaches are the one having their decision to make, are the one having their mentality. They know the kind of players they want to use in their game. So when they go for them, we only sit back and watch and say, "Oh yeah, this is not a player, but the coach has brought him. What can you do? Nothing."
All right, so with the exception of Kai Havertz, means you are okay with the level of progress in the transfer market thus far.
Kai Havertz is not a bad addition. I would say this. It's not a bad addition, but we need people with more efforts.
Okay.
So Arsenal is doing well in terms of the transfer market and all that. But here is the thing: there's another club coming in for Mark Turner that has to do with the second goalkeeper for Arsenal. So they gotta be fast. They gotta be hit sick to get a goalkeeper. You went for Raya. Chelsea snapped Raya from you as I speak,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, Raya has been bought. So Chelsea has snapped Raya from you. You gotta be fast.
Just emphasizing on Chelsea, looking at me, and I don't know.
Because I
Yeah.
know you to be a Chelsea
They
fan.
always had it.
I know you to skip this. And I know you to be a
Yeah,
Chelsea fan.
okay. Yeah.
And this is something. This is not your team first time. I noticed during the issue of Modric.
But why is it you
You
just
in
wait?
a situation again and you did what you could do. But
You-
Modric performed that small. You saw his performance. So the thing is, it's not about the player name. It's not about bringing a player to the club. It's about bringing a player that will make impact to the team.
All right.
That's
So again, we want to appreciate you for your thoughts on the involvement of your club in the transfer market. So we'll move over to brother Ase Josh. That ongoing transfer of players from one club to another, all of the clubs are involved. It's almost like it's an open market, free market where people can go and you can negotiate for purchase, for sale. So what have been your club involvement? What are some of those names that you have added to your club? There are some players that are laying like Jordan Henderson, the likes of Fabinho. These are people we used to refer to as the engine room of Liverpool. So with this guy leaving your squad, what are some of those names that you are drawing that will match the exit? And what are some of those additional agreements that you are into currently that you are hopeful that the club will reach at the end of the transfer market?
Thank you very much, Eric. Liverpool have got to do very much more in respect to their involvement in the transfer window. Because looking at the exit of Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Henderson, Fabinho, and that of James Milner. Yeah, Chamberlain has left. So it opens the void and the vacuum that there is a need that Liverpool get much more midfielder. Uh, though they have signed two distinct and prolific midfielders that I don't think anyone here on this panel discussion can doubt. Slabozla and that of Alexis McAllister from
Are there
Brighton.
more midfielders than Carver and Declan Rice?
Uh,
Is there a debate you're trying to bring
No, it's
up?
not a debate because you said no. Yeah,
Well, if
the
it's
kind of adjective you use to describe them. So I'm just trying to say because if you are saying that, so I'm just
So,
yes.
so Eric, the prolific nature these two midfielders have, I think Declan Rice as well has it, but Kai Havertz, in time past, he has declined in terms of being productive, which is why you think and see that Chelsea sold him to Arsenal. So, Slabozla and that of McAllister, you saw McAllister's performance in the just in the World Cup, and you saw his performance with Brighton as well. He was one of the main engines that took Brighton to that particular conference League qualifying round.
But sometimes it might not always be the case that players they might perform for the country's other clubs, but going to new clubs,
Yeah,
sometimes they
but
find it
if
difficult to
you
adapt to
look at
perform.
McAllister,
Like, even the car harvest now, what a lot of you have mentioned, we saw car harvest with Bayern, Leverkusen in Germany. Car harvest did not even play the level just by even scoring a winning goal for Chelsea in the Champions League final. Football he played with Bayern Leverkusen for Chelsea. So will you also take that into consideration?
So in taking it into consideration, if you watch Liverpool's previous preseason matches against those teams that they have selected to play against Leicester City, Bayern Munich, and that of Castles, one of the teams in Scotland, McAllister and that of Slabozza's performances were very much top notch because they have developed in Liverpool as if they've been playing. But I just think in my mind, Liverpool needs to do much more in terms of signing midfielders because James Milner left, Chamberlain left, Fabinho left, our captain Henderson left, and that of Naby Keita left. We still have inexperienced midfielders. Liverpool have Harvey Elliott. Liverpool have Curtis Jones, who is still developing. Liverpool also has Bacetic. I think you know Bacetic. Pacetic is a very prolific youngster. He plays the defensive midfield role very well. But Liverpool needs a defensive midfielders that will be able to, stand or fill in the gap of Fabinho because Fabinho has left already. So looking at the signing of this Southampton midfielder who is Lavia, I think Liverpool should redirect their energy to someone who is much more experienced in terms of getting to know the Premier League. Lavia has played for Southampton in the Premier League before, but he's just 19 years old. And the Premier League is that kind of league that is fast paced. It needs people that are very much versed in terms of understanding agility, in terms of understanding, that speed that the Premier League goes with. So you can come and have a 19-year-old who isn't really, really well experienced and playing defensive role for a team like Liverpool in the Premier League where Liverpool will be contesting for the Premier League this season and as well as competing for European
Now,
trophy.
someone will say
Mhm.
Georgia Klopp, as a coach for Liverpool, has been in the Champions League for a number of years. He's very experienced, knowledgeable when it comes to the game, and he understands a whole lot about the Barclays Premier League. So, are you having a condescending or view or approach with regards to what he's doing, Joshi? Are you trying to discredit Jurgen Klopp's decision to acquire the signature of some of these players?
So we are not discrediting Jurgen Klopp's decision. You can sign Lavia, but you need someone who is much more experienced in terms of the defensive midfield role. Mind you, you have already allowed five distinct midfielders to leave your team, and you only signed two. So if you look at statistics, one of Liverpool's weaknesses last season was getting the ball in defensive areas and forging ahead with counter attack. So Liverpool lapses was being shown with that defensive counter attack. So Fabinho, in some point of the season, he sustained injury, and Thiago Alcantara as well sustained injury. The only person that really played that particular defensive midfield role was Henderson. And in some point, you had or you saw James Milner there. So Henderson has left. Fabinho he himself has left. James Milner has also left. So bringing Lavia, you have signed McAllister and Dallas Labosa. Both of these guys do not really play midfield role or defensive midfield, pardon. They usually play attacking midfield out of number 10. So you need to find someone who's much more strong. You need someone like Concedo from Brighton. Concedo where everyone is going. Spend the money behind Concedo. He's that box to box midfielder. He stands against any offensive midfielder and gets the ball very quickly. He's fast. If you look at statistics, he's he's one of the fastest midfielders in England currently because as a defensive midfielder, he has the ability to go and get the ball very quickly, and then his team goes for counter attack. So if you look at Brighton in the concluding stages of the Premier League last season, the game they played against Manchester United, I consider was one of the main and much more performing player against Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and that of the other midfielders that Manchester United
Now,
had.
in this transfer window, we're just trying to wrap up quickly to get to our next discussion. But while you are saying with Casido, you know that one of your major rivals, Chelsea, of
Yeah.
recently have been heavily linked with Casido in the transfer market. Liverpool haven't been showing interest.
Liverpool can as well go for him because Liverpool need a midfielder like him. Liverpool needs a midfielder like him. Lavia is 19. Like I earlier on stated, he's 19. And we need someone who's experienced. And mind you, Liverpool need a traditional number two. Trent Alexander-Arnold, in my mind, is not very, very much defensive. He's not defensive. Robertson, who plays the left back, is much more defensive than him. If you watch Liverpool last season, we usually played 3-5-2. So Trent Alexander-Arnold played a more deep role within the midfield. If you look at his historic lineage with Liverpool, while he was on the academy, he was a midfielder. That is why you see he gives assists most of the time while playing for Liverpool. So we need a traditional number two who will be there to defend the ball, and probably we can bring Alexander Arnold back within the midfield, and then we have a perfect team.
Okay, so thank you very much. That's the voice of Acid George here representing Liverpool. He has been learning his thoughts with regards to his club involvement in the transfer market. He expressed some level of discouragement or disappointment with regards to the quality of players being signed, especially the Premier League noted to be one of the most challenging league in Europe in terms of players getting adapted to the league, the pace, the level of pace of the league. And we will be moving over to Jared Langley here representing Manchester United. So Jared, you are here representing Manchester United. David De Gea is up. Andre Onana is in. Onana has conceded not just on his debut, but today again there's a goal. I didn't follow the match to full 90 minutes, but again, that I was just kidding on that. But in terms of your club involvement in the transfer market, signing players, leaving, and the overall view about the whole transfer of your team involvement, what is it?
Yeah, when it comes to the transfer market, Manchester United is positively getting involved with their signings and their who-be signings, because well, what I found out then a little bit is in the post, right? David De Gea who have stayed, with Manchester United to reduce the wages, then he wanted to stay, like, from heart. But then the coach thought it was to let him go, and then secondly, Onana is still a prospect, but then you can just be at Manchester United all alone. Like Hilton in the team, but he's not as close to David De Gea to watch Onana. And Onana is coming to be a more regular goalkeeper. No disrespect to Onana, he been with Eric Ten want to keep that same chemistry. Most of his signings are people that originate from the Netherlands or that play with him. So he actually want to bring back that same chemistry from Ajax. That's why that's his thoughts. And then you feel that it will be more easy to adapt. Because if you look at the Moroccan international, the Amarat,
yes,
from Fiorentina,
yes.
he becomes a free agent next season, right? They don't have a contract, but Eric Ten wants him. Because of that, Scott McTominay had to go to West Ham. West Ham won your that's why the ice cream price, that's all. So he wants to maintain that same chemistry. You see, they like.
So you think that is now a good footing in the transfer market?
For me, arguably, it's now a good footing because the Dutch league is not the English Premier League. That's why some of the people he brought to the team, they actually delivered from last season. But then you can just be at some point in time, players that he brought last season, they were even never to 30 games. If you look at the term Malaysia from Feyenoord, I mentioned the other side, you see what he was there, nine Europa quarterfinal and semi-final with Sevilla and Manchester United scored 2 goals at that time of the game. So I mean, the Premier League have a different momentum. I mean, the pace is different, the intensity there. I mean, you need people that is more a burst with the league. Like bringing Mason Mount to Manchester United, I clap for that signing for hard. Like it's actually good. Mason Mount is a delivering player. He's more attacking. He loves to. I mean, he good at goal scoring. The level of creativity is good. But then you can bring up all round, like your entire transfer should there be Josh.
And probably maybe Dutch solidarity or players that he has one coach to form a reunion at Manchester United. If you look at your team, who are some of the players you think are really deserving that your team need them, that they could really fill in that gap for the new league season, more over where you'll be participating in the Champions League?
Yeah, well, it's not overall wanting absolutely different people with different orientation, right? But it's just about you being more careful in how you bring people to the team. That's my bigger concern. You gotta be more careful how you bring people to the team. Because if you just want to be a whole those originated, you know, players at Manchester United, you know, though Amarat is now a Dutch guy, but he was born in the Netherlands. He's a Moroccan, but he was born in the Netherlands, and then he played in the Netherlands, and then he feel that okay, I can still have that same people. Like Terry actually wants to be protected. He actually wants to be protected because what he gave to his previous wish, the condition he gave to Manchester United, he had to be very careful because man, you that's English clubs that they are giving everything he ever wanted. So if you be careful, they're gonna take it back from you. They are not start bringing him here. Everything only have this season, first phase this season, and then if he continue to mistakenly be mistaken, it will be bad for him. Like maybe then you lately slightly survived the rap of Newcastle last season. Maybe you should have been in the Champions League. So Newcastle was the greatest motivation in the Premier League last season. You saw it. Nobody expected Newcastle to come so close to where they were. So, and then you saw Manchester United carelessly losing points, giving up goals. I mean, like sometimes it's so heartbreaking. So then you have to be very careful. The architect Martinez is very good. And my concern is telling me to start. I think we'll have a little competition in the right back position, defensively. And Wan-Bissaka and Dalot. But Dalot should not be an overall regular player at Manchester United because Dalot defensively is not good. Mario Dalot is more a winger, even from you really know from Portugal. He play more often than but he ability to go and come. But these days, the past 2 seasons, he's not coming deep in. He will go and come, but he can't he don't win tackles. He play that one elite number two clean. You don't want to like what's up with you? Like something I found, but what Basaka will go all for it and then he kills everything. Look at the 2 games he played against the Japanese international from Brighton. I'm not too. Mitambo. Look at the FA Cup semi-final game. Look at that game. And you see that he's there to die. But I love the competition because Wan-Bissaka just proved to the world that I can actually do it. That's a game from ages. That's the kind of game he played forever. So if let him feel that probably because of Wan-Bissaka, his body language or whatsoever, I'm not liking like that. That's people. They all find greatness in football. But sorry, my word. But then he will be that you have to give everybody an opportunity. Yeah. So that's why I find time. But hey, tactically, he's not a bad coach, he's a good coach, but we still look for Manchester United, another average team. They should be coming all raw and rapid. You see their threat, the ego, the hunger for trophies, and you win.
Sure.
But we are still
like the days of Wayne Rooney, Carlos Tevez, and that kind of posture.
Precisely. They don't get in the game. Like Manchester United may should be all red.
So with the remaining days left in the transfer market or window, are you really hopeful that there could be some additional signing that will really beef up your squad to meet up the kind of expectation that you have?
Yeah, well, with the team, in terms of your compactness on the team, I think Manchester United is better for now, what I see, but we still need we still need one more midfielder. Like because if you have Scott McTominay, 2 years, 2 more years to a contract, and then he's not favorable at Manchester United when it comes to giving Semedo like Eric Ten. And then you can't just keep him no matter what. If even if Eric Ten does not get the Moroccan international for Fiorentina now, he might get him January. But Scott McTominay will be a regular substitute or in terms of pairing with Casemiro because he feels that and Scott McTominay he would just fight it, but he will not control it. That's how you feel. And honestly speaking, Scott McTominay should be that type that should give his potential. Like let me be that class for Manchester United. Let me just be a more balanced man. Let me just give my best and then just go keep going and coming. But in terms of discussion, but he can't have it. He can't have it. Though he has also won us goal and killed some or won some titles in previous seasons, but he just can't have it. But in terms of the goal scoring up front, I think Manchester United is good. The introduction of the international husband that came to Manchester United with just unveil him. He's not attractive in goals as per his record, previous records. But then and Marcus Rashford, our goal scorer, most prolific goal scorer. If Marcus Rashford wouldn't be playing in his position like he usually played last from previous season, Rashford will come from the side, but then and Hotland will have to do more in terms of goal scoring because if you get Rashford taking the race from you, I mean he gets all the field from Manchester United, and that's what Man U want. So I think in terms of hunger, he will do more, and then Anthony Santos had to do more in terms of he had to slow down and just be more creative.
Sure. So it means that there's going to be a tough competition in terms of the striking also for Manchester United. So again, we are here on Focus Sports Inside Live on Focus Online TV, broadcasting from our main studios here in Topo Village along the Japanese Freeway. Today we are having a panel discussion. We are having 3 discussants here, well informed, knowledgeable about development from the world of sports. They are representing Arsenal, Liverpool, and of course Manchester United. We've been talking about the Premier League season, the just ended season, talking about the club's involvement in the transfer market. We're going to take a short break and we'll come back. We're going to roll the discussions with 2 most talking points. We're going to talk about the preparation ahead of the new league season. And each one of our discussants going to give the accurate or the precise prediction of the 4 teams they think going to finish at the top 4 spot at the end of the 2023-2024 league season. Good day, folks. What a pleasant and warm way to welcome you to Sports Insight, your biggest sport magazine. All right, so want to say thanks for rejoining us. Again, we want to acknowledge our online followers. We want to say thanks for following our broadcast. Please share our live videos. You can encourage others to follow the program you are watching. Is Focus Sports Inside live here on Focus Online TV. I saw a comment from Andy Brober Jala. He said Chelsea going to win the English Premier League. I don't know whether that was meant for a joke or he really mean that, but again, we'll get to that point. So yeah, we are at the stage of the conversation. So we begin this time around. We're going to go to. We started alphabetically, but let's continue from Jared Langley. We have less than a week to the official start of the Premier League season 2023-2024. Less than a week. In terms of preparation, how prepared is your team? You are not just going to be taking part in the Premier League. Manchester United will participate in the English FA Cup. You're going to participate in the Carling Cup, and of course, you're going to play in the Champions League, including the Premier League, which is 4 different top competitions in Europe. How prepared are you?
I'm prepared. but I'm still hopeful for the best. Like I know Manchester United. I know like Man U is still being Man U is still Man U is still at that level of being rebirth. Like it's so you have to just say it. Because I don't want Manchester United to play like the way they usually play. Not every season we just keep building team. You can't keep building team all season. We built team, we've been building team 3 seasons ago, and then Liverpool and team where they came into the make history. But I mean, breaking the old before Manchester City, like it was so frustrating. So this season, I mean, with all the fresh start we have on the team, we brought in a new striker. Michael Rashford is there, or Jordan Sancho. I think at most point in time you'll be playing most likely player number 9 in some at some point in time, and then Anthony Santos, my most prolific midfielder Bruno Fernandes, the captain. I think with the likes of the pairing of Messi Mon and Bruno Fernandes up front, I think Manchester United will be more stable, will be more stable. But then on the overall, I still have maybe like 30% fear. Like I have to manage my expectations because Manchester United have to do more.
So
Yeah.
when you talk about prepare, you say you are prepared, although you have limited your expectation
Yeah.
to that of 70%,
Yeah.
taking part in 4 different competitions. Do you have the number of players? Because at times you have to rotate players. You cannot use one player, because of fatigue over. So do you have the replacement that can fill in the gap?
Yeah.
Sometimes there are some teams when they're going to play in the Carling Cup, they might not want to use the full team. They'll bring some academic players, but other players to help at least to beef up the screen. So from that angle, are you also prepared?
Yeah, I got series of young lads from the academy. I got Brian Williams he was introduced to Manchester United last season or almost season before last lately, but then he never had a regular start. He had a losing to Norwich and he came back to Manchester United. Even this season, the introduction of Milo, the young lad Milo, you saw him against Arsenal. He had to make the red loss in that friendly. So you just see some of the potential. You just see some of the potential. I mean, like it's raw. It's raw. Like Arsenal fan will be like, see, Jared, my man, you're that cool player, but Dylan Ryan actually make me feel bad. Yeah, because now I think I want to be more. I want to be more precise on deliberations. Precisely, yeah, because you need people. You need people to deliver. But I got more players in various compartments. That why Manchester United having in terms of the midfield, we have so many players in terms of midfield. But I'm not sure that they have friend my lead Manchester United season. I think to be trying to years old before. In any year preseason with Manchester United, maybe he might see a deal for him. That's why Manchester United want more midfielders. And then in terms of stragglers, many got series of struggles. They got series of struggles. Jordan Sancho can fill in like Thiago Michael Rashford from the left wing. We have Anthony Santos. Greenwood situation is still but resolved soon. And in terms of the defense, I'm more desperate on center defense. We are very stable in center defense because Harry Maguire is a big, though he's not my type. If some serious player had left Manchester United, Maguire shouldn't be in Manchester United. But I think getting the captain there other Manchester, or honestly, he's annoying. He's annoying. But getting the captain there other Harry Maguire, I think it proved for him. It proved as a deterrent for him. Like if you don't do it, you don't be going. But actually, he will leave Manchester United. But we regrettably team don't want to pay the money many want for him. But Weston is deeply involved on him. Weston wants to come McTominay. So if we reduces the price tag on him, probably might go to them. But once I have Varane, I have Martinez there. I think Manchester United is more compact in terms of defense.
Okay, so there you have it. It's Jared Langley. He's been talking about how prepared Manchester United is ahead of the Premier League season that will be starting in less than a week. So we're going to move over to RC Josh. RC Josh, the Premier League gets started in less than a week. Liverpool will be participating not just in the English Premier League, they will also be representing England in the Europa League. They will be participating in the English FA Cup and the English Carling Cup. These are all hectic and challenging competitions. How prepared is your team ahead of the new league season?
So I think I will have to speak to this issue in three different folds very quickly.
Yes.
So in terms of defense, I think Liverpool, we, we just spoke earlier on, Liverpool needs a traditional number two. Were you to look at Trent Alexander-Arnold, he has you have Joe Gomez, you have Konate, you have Joel Matip. I mean, these three guys are not up to the task. They do not really perform as compared to Virgil van Dijk. So Liverpool needs to look in the market. They need to find someone that has that same parallel statistics and that parallel way of playing as compared to Van Dijk, so that both of them can pair in terms of central defense, the central defense role. And left back, yes, we could Rabosin, we got Simikas from Greece who plays very well defensively. So I mean, I just think Liverpool needs to sign a central back in the traditional number two.
So with all what you have stated, and we have less than just a week to the official commencement of the Premier League, you think some of those issues could be resolved or addressed within the time frame?
Yeah, Liverpool is one of the biggest teams in Europe, mind you. And Liverpool, has the ability to sign the player they believe, can fill in their team uh, in respect to their financial policy as a team. So when Liverpool financial policy, to enable them to be able to sign players within this particular frame of time, they will be able to do. So Liverpool have a midfield that will be able to compete, across various competitions. Liverpool has quality attackers we have in the team.
Okay, so we have you on record because all what we do here is being broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube, and we have the ability to retrieve some of these videos in the non distant future. So when some of you guys start complaining around, oh, are disappointed, this, after you have
Yeah.
expressed previously that we are certified, we go to this competition.
I can't go fuck it.
Okay, so Marco Kumi is over to you. Arsenal, they have missed off for years in the Champions League, returning to the Champions League, not just the Champions League, but they will be taking part in 4 different major competitions across Europe. 3 from England and 1 from Europe. How prepared is your team ahead of the new league season?
All right. When you talk about preparation, even a fourth division thing in England is kind of prepared. Yeah, to a me. And we saw the team departing for Germany, where they had a first pre-season tour. And they went there, they had a training section where they had to play a game with Nuremberg. And they 1-1. And came back to England later on the ship for America. And they had a series of test matches, including main test. Not to worry about. The thing is, when it comes to tournament pre-season, you'll find United showing themselves. All right, but when it comes to the issue of match, Premier League match, it's not an easy thing. If you look back on the record since 2019 between Arsenal and that of Manchester United, it was not kind of easy for Manchester United to just beat Arsenal on a serious note. So on several occasions, we saw the leg of De Gea, who is now out of the Manchester United squad. All right, we saw Granit Xhaka school for world-class thunder, against him.
I think that
Granit Xhaka didn't just stop there. We saw Thomas Partey doing also the same. So he spoke of, I just want to bring to a checkpoint where he spoke of one of his little kid that he brought up. Yeah, if Fred cannot do the work, you really think that Labour will do that work? No. But the thing is, to be honest with you, if we talk about preparation in England, to be honest with you, Arsenal is preparing. Arsenal is really preparing. Trust me, a team will not go spend close to 200 and some more million, and you tell me they are not preparing. They are definitely prepared.
But sometimes it becomes the opposite.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Nicolas
saying.
Pepe, we know that.
sure.
In fact, Nicolas Pepe came to the team. He didn't perform. Nicolas Pepe is not the first person that came to a particular club. They didn't perform. Manchester United today have a very tall number 9. They brought him to Manchester United. We saw him. He was a flop, a complete flop. All right,
Going first squad.
first one, right? Okay. They brought him to United.
I don't want to jump the gun. No, you reach Maguri.
He was a complete flop. Maguire, you don't have to talk about. I was coming there. Maguire, I don't degrade Maguire. To be honest with you, I don't degrade Maguire. Maguire is a very good player. Trust me. Why would Maguire succeed on the England national team and he can succeed on Manchester United? It just tell you that probably maybe the kind of style is kind of different in terms of playing, maybe with the system and that of the what it's called. You found out that whenever England go to a World Cup or a major tournament, Maguire can stand up for England. But when it comes to Manchester United, I don't know why. So I think maybe partly here Manchester United can pull. Yes, here Manchester United can pull. So in terms of preparation, Arsenal is doing well, bringing the legs of Kai Havertz, bringing the legs of Declan Rice, bringing the legs of Nicolas Pepe is also back. I hope you know that. All right, and bringing Jordan Timber and also going for goalkeepers and whatever. They are doing well. They are doing well. We are impressed. We are impressed with the level of signing. For me, I just have a small question when it comes to Kai Havertz.
So meaning the team is well prepared for the new Premier League season.
Eric, let me say this. I will say this. There's something that is playing on my team that has to do with a lot of the trophy last season. Trust me, the zeal you had in Arsenal last season, it's going to be hard to find that zeal coming back this season. It will take time to germinate. Trust me. Because you know what it means. You get to the promised land, you see the promised land, and you cannot enter into the promised land. If that thing, you know what I mean, football, right? It brings a serious demotivation to a team. Let me be honest to you. Seriously. So I cannot tell you that psychologically that team is harmful on a serious note.
So yes. So again, we are here on Focus Sports Inside Live on Focus Online TV. We have three panel discussing here talking about Arsenal, Manchester United, and Liverpool. It has been a fascinating, educative, insightful, and entertaining conversation here talking about the Premier League season that is about to get started in less than a week. Brief review into the Just in the League season, talking about club participation in the transfer market, and of course, how prepared they are for the new league season. We have Marco Cummins, he's here representing Arsenal. Asset George representing Liverpool, Jared Langley representing, Asset George representing Liverpool, the only man who did not come with a club attire. Jared Langley beautifully dressed in a Manchester United attire. And it's a fascinating conversation. We want to say thanks to all of our online followers or viewers for following our broadcast. We want to say thanks for following. We encourage you to share our videos. You can invite others to follow. We have a few minutes to conclude with this show. We just take a short break and we'll come back. We get at the concluding stages or stage of this conversation. Good day, folks. What a pleasant and warm way to welcome you to Sports Insight, your biggest sport magazine program here on Focus Online TV. I'm your host, Eric Palop Collins. On this program, we bring you in-depth Okay, so thanks for rejoining us again. We are back here on Focus Online TV. The program you are watching is Focus Sports Insight, a detailed, in-depth sports magazine program that brings you all you need to know from the world of sports. And this program comes your way Saturday of every week from 2 to 4 p.m. And today we are having a panel discussion. We have three discussants here representing Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. We've been talking wiring of issues bordering around these clubs in terms of preparation, in terms of progress, and we're looking at a new league season. So we have a few minutes to conclude with today's edition of our show, like we said. So as we wrap up, we begin with Michael Cummins. Michael Cummins, you have in 4 minutes. The Premier League season will get started in less than a week. Care to, from an honest, a very fair background, can you predict the 4 clubs that you believe in your mind going to finish at the top 4 spot at the end of the 2023-2024 Premier League season? And your prediction should just follow by your parting comments because yes.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of prediction, number 1 is going to be Arsenal. Yeah. And number 2 is going to be followed by Manchester United. And Man City number 3. Chelsea number 4.
So why you think
What I think
it's going to be this way?
What I think so is because you see there is something called a pendulum, and when it shifts, it shifts. In previous times, Manchester United was the one leading the barrel, right? All right, and then after Manchester United came in Arsenal. From Arsenal, it went to Chelsea. From Chelsea, it went to Liverpool. From Liverpool, it went to Man City. All right, that's the thing about the English football. It's not static. All right, it room around. So why do I say Arsenal is going to top this record? If you look at Arsenal, Arsenal was the team that was kind of challenging City in terms of this going league season. 2 off from head to toe. You have an active team like Manchester United is completely active. No, let me be honest. You know, disrespect to Man U. Man U is a very good team. Manchester United is a very good team. I must admit. But the thing about it is that when you bring a new coach, it affects the team, the plan, the prospect, and all that the team need to put in place. You need that. So trust me, that's my prediction for the full. So in terms of my parting comment, I'd like to say thank you to Focal TV. I'm always open to the invitation. Thank you.
All right, so we want to say thanks to Michael Cummings. You heard it. Michael Cummings predicted that at the end of the 2023-2024 Premier League season, Arsenal are going to emerge as champions, finishing first place. Of course, Manchester United second place. You're going to have Man City finishing in the third position and Chelsea finishing fourth place. That was Michael Cummings here on Focus Sports Inside, live on Focal Online TV. And like we said, we have three panel discussing here in our studio. So that was it for Michael Cummings, who is here representing Arsenal. That is his prediction. A fan of Arsenal predicted that Arsenal, Man U, Man City, and Chelsea is the top four at the end of the 2023-2024 league season. We now move forward to Acid George. Acid George, what is your prediction? And your prediction could be followed by your parting comments.
Yeah, so thank you very much. I believe and I'm hopeful that Liverpool will as well be able to clinch the Premier League table, the Premier League title, pardon, in the impending season. The reasons are just simple. One, if you look at Liverpool statistically at the concluding stages of the just ended season, Liverpool scored more goals. Liverpool changed their formation in terms of bringing Trent Alexander-Arnold in a more deep midfield role, wherein Liverpool were playing more attackingly in respect to counter attack against other teams, and they were being able to score more goals. So with the legs of all of our strikers back and bringing two midfielders back, I think Liverpool will be able to punch more goals. If we look at the preseason, Liverpool has scored about 12 to 13 goals just within 4 games. We lost to Bayern 4-3. We won Leicester 4. We won Arsenal 4, and we won another team 3-0. So we've been able to score more goals, and Liverpool will clinch the Premier League title, and City will come second. The reason in my mind I think City will come second is because City has been dominating for a vast period, and uh, Pep Guardiola has been able to sell one of his most prolific players, Mahrez, and some of the players as well. They might be exhausted, and they will not even perform. Up to the task that they are anticipated to perform, and Arsenal will be able to come third. Arsenal has lost, her rhythm. Arsenal has lost the ability to be able to come back together, and that euphoria is not there anymore. If you look at the end of the season, Arsenal performed just smallly against the other team will be winning you guys as well. So I mean, these are my reasons, and these are my predictions.
So,
And I want to say thank
parting
you.
comments.
Yes, I want to say thank you to the Focal Online TV. I that we always look forward to whenever we are called upon to give our candid opinion in relation to our teams, our respective teams, or other social and political issues as well. So I'd like to say thanks to the management of Focal Online TV, and as well as to you, Eric, for this great invitation. Thank you very much.
So again, we want to say thank you, brother Ase George. You heard it. Ase George predicted at the end of the 2023-2024 Premier League season, Liverpool going to emerge as champions. They're going to finish first place, followed by Manchester City, Arsenal, and that of Chelsea. You have Moba Kamara. He's following online. We want to acknowledge Moba Kamara. He said his prediction: Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. That's the top for Chelsea first, Man City second, Liverpool third, Arsenal fourth. We also have Nugusa Nagas Kemu. He's also following our broadcast. We want to say thanks for following. You can share our live video, and you also invite others to follow. So lastly, we'll move forward to Jared Langley here representing Manchester United. So, Brother Langley, it's up to you. What is your prediction? The top 4 finish spot in the 2023 league season, followed by your parting comments.
Yeah, my prediction I want to win the league this season. Reason being is I have watched from the stands where, usually one of the stands where I did not hear in a more competing move in terms of winning the championship last season. So this season, with the players I have brought to my squad, I want to win the league. And I'm hopeful that with the combination of those players, we'll create and developing chemistry to get the league going, to win the championship. So I take first place, Manchester United, and then Manchester City will go second place. Reason being Manchester City will win second place is because Man City have won a lot of trophies, accolades and stuff, and then series of players have left the team, but they already have an already established euphoria within the squad. Like the foundation is there. So once you come, you meet it. But then the time it would take for the very few lads that came to get closer or to get used to, they can bring a little debate. So Man City takes second place. And then Liverpool have rested for so long. Liverpool is coming from the slumber. And then Liverpool will have more focus on the Premier League this season. Like every big clubs in England, elite clubs, where once they are not doing that much participation in the Champions League, I mean, I don't give up. I don't get time to spend to use all of my caliber of players in just playing Europa or other lower competitions. I think I have to win the championship. So Liverpool will fight. Like Liverpool is one of the things that have one of the most consistent chemistry in England. Like just can take it from Liverpool. So Liverpool will run more. Liverpool will score. Liverpool already have an established squad. The team is there. The euphoria is there. Liverpool will take second place to appear in Champions League next season. Third place rather to appear in Champions League next season. And then Arsenal will take fourth place. Arsenal will take fourth place because Arsenal is already coming from the biggest mistakes in English football. One of the biggest mistakes in English football history. Arsenal is coming like it's not mentally. It's not an easy thing. Like I was like the entire world thought like this is Arsenal moment. This is I actually wanted Arsenal to win the league. I actually wanted Arsenal to win the league, but at some point in time, I probably blame the coach for not using Jorginho. He brought Jorginho in January. Wow. What's the significance of you bringing Jorginho when you know he's there already? Why didn't you use it?
So that is Arsenal decision.
Yeah,
so
I blame you for that.
Have your own fish to fry.
So I blame you for that. So Arsenal will take the fourth place to play Champions League.
Okay, so
and then my parting comment is that I want to thank the Focal TV family here. It's actually doing a good work, loving the innovation, young people. I mean, this is actually a dream come true. Young people sit on the platform, share their arguments and think their ideas. We're already good, and I'm always hopeful to be here one day.
Okay, so there you have it, Jared Langley concluding our conversation here today. He has predicted that Manchester United will finish at the top of the 2023-2024 English Premier League season. Of course, followed by Manchester City second place, Liverpool third place, and Arsenal finishing fourth position. Today has been an interesting and insightful conversation. 3 panel discussing here representing Arsenal, Manchester United, and of course Liverpool. They were represented by Michael Cummings here represented Arsenal, as a judge represented Liverpool, and of course you have Jared Langley here representing Manchester United. The program you've been watching is Focus Sports Inside Live on Focus Online TV, broadcasting from our main studios here in Topo Village along the Jabani freeways. To all of our online followers or viewers, we want to say thanks for following our broadcast. We encourage you to please invite others to keep following Focus Online TV. For live coverage of this program, you can follow every Saturday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. Everything you need to know in the world of sports, we're going to bring it to your doorstep. And of course, we have Woody B. Tingba. He's following us. A strong supporter of Arsenal. I can see the Arsenal sign, and he's here for the new league season. He can't wait for the season to get started. So it has been good year with all of you following our broadcast. Today has been extremely insightful. We learned a whole lot, and we hope to come back with more energy, renewed and refreshed on the next weekend conversation of our program on Focus Sports Inside here on Focus Online TV. I'm your host, Eric Paulo Collins, and want to say thanks for watching us. And thank you for